Hey guys, welcome back to part 2 of my vlog through A Clash of Kings by George R. Martin. Thank you so much for those people who watched my first part. I'm not doing these vlogs to be popular or for the views or anything like that. I'm just doing it as a way of me documenting my journey through the book in a spoiler-free fashion, or as spoiler free as I can make it. So far, we've read about Lady Stark and Rob, who want to try to have peace. Like Rob has made all these terms that he's put to Joffrey and his mother, and I think that's like too outrageous. Like free our sisters and give them safe passage back to Winterfell and you know, stop. Make your father stop, hurting people and causing all these battles and wars, and to bring back the remains of Ned Stark, so he can be given a proper burial. So nothing really too, outrageous, and nothing too extreme. And they said that all they want is peace. They don't want a battle or any conflict. They just want to live happily ever after and all that stuff. Um, I mean, Joffrey as the rightful king, or as the current king, I think that they kind of accept it. They don't really want to rock the boat in that way. Yeah, so I think that Rob is only supposed to be a teenager, but he's written as an adult, and I think that even his mother sees this, and I think it's because of Ned's death, is that he is like, oh God, I'm the next one in line. I'm the one that has to take over from my father, and I've got to grow up really, really quickly and to do all this stuff because he's got loads of responsibilities now. And we've also been reading a bit about Tyron and his time at King's Landing, and it's very political. It really is political. Even Lady Stark's chapters is really political as well. It's like everyone's always trying to stay on everyone's good side, and all these conspiracies and all that stuff. It's really hard to keep track of. And yeah, I think Tyrone is trying to yeah, keep the peace with his sister and Joffrey. Uh yeah. I'm pretty sure that Joffrey and Tyrone haven't actually come to contact with each other yet. Be interesting to see what that is like. But yeah, that's where I am right now currently with the book. And it's a good story, but yeah, some characters they are more politically focused than other characters. For example, John's character and the Stark children are going to be less politically focused than others, but just how it goes, I suppose. I can't wait to read Danny's section as well. It's like, oh, it's like it left when the dragons hatched, and I want to get, I want to read about dragons. I want to read about dragons. I know they're only small, right now they're only babies, but yeah, that'd be interesting and cool. Hey guys, so where I am with the story right now is that Arya and the group of, I was going to say misfits, but the other members of her band right now, as they go into the wall, I don't know, they just seem to be unusual. They just seem to be more than what they are. It made me think about the members of the Night's Watch, is that they are supposed to be really horrible villainous people, but they are supposed to be or supposed to represent brothers and friendship and coming together as one. And that is what keeps on coming to my mind when it comes to reading this section where Arya is right now. And we're also introduced to a new character called Davos. Hopefully I've said it right. At first I was thinking, who is this? But as I was reading it, I'm pretty sure that Davos is a knight of King Stannis. Who, I mean, he was a smuggler, but now he is a knight. I mean, his part was fine to read. The Red Lady, her eyes are actually described as being red, which is freaky as hell. And I'm convinced that she is a sorceress because she does a spell or an incantation of some sort on a sword that engulfs it in fire or in flame. And Stannis reaches into the fire and pulls out this flaming sword. I mean, I don't know if it's a new weapon or if it's supposed to symbolize something, but that was cool. And plus, it didn't really seem to hurt him as well when he was reaching into the fire. And he did this in front of people as well. So, yeah, I just wanted to record my feelings and what I thought about it so far, and yeah, to see how it goes. So I just wanted to give you guys a bit of an update about the story. So far, Stannis has been trying to stamp his authority and his rights for the Iron Throne. He wants to spread awareness and I think letters around to all the kingdoms of Westeros and to basically tell everyone and shout it from the rooftops that he is the rightful king after his brother Robert died and he's the one that should inherit the throne. And we've also been reading a bit about Theon Greyjoy. I'm not sure if I've said his name right, but he was taken by Ned Stark from his native lands called the Iron Islands. And the Iron Islands is, I think it's about 4 or 5 clusters of smaller islands. And that is situated in the middle of Westeros to the left. And the Iron Islands are a very brutal place because they are small islands. The sea is constantly battling it and rushing at it and beating it and all that stuff. And when he goes back there, he's very he wants to be king, and it seems everyone wants to be king, of some place in this whole world. And he's thrilled to be back, but he wants to, say that, right, he's been with the Starks for about 10 years and he wants everyone to know that he's still a member of the Iron Kingdom, which everyone in the Iron Islands are very, very, very vicious and strong, and they don't take any crap from anyone. And he knows that he's the next in line for the throne, and his father has basically been given a letter from Robb Stark saying that he needs his help, and if he helps, then he will be given a crown and become officially king of the Iron Islands. And he doesn't like this, and he's very tough and pig-headed and setting in his own ways. And I like the Iron Islands. They are like, I mean, the sea is a big part of them, and their islands and their culture. So it'd be interesting to spend some more time there, as well as at Dragonstone as well. It's got all these um, really interesting locations and new characters, which I am finding a little bit hard to get into at first, but I suppose that's just like a um, thing that I'll have to overcome. But they are interesting. They're just new to me, so I have to just probably read a bit more to get into their characters. Hey guys, so we are following Danny with the Dothraki tribe, or what's left of them. After the death of Drogo, most of the warriors, the like strong, the strongest warriors, they've gone off and left Danny, and they've taken all the strong horses and all the um, strong animals and all the probably all the good. And probably all the good equipment as well. And Danny and what's left of the tribe are like wandering in this wasteland, and it hasn't been good for them. They are hungry, they are starving, they are thirsty, and they've resorted to killing some of their horses and to eating them. Some of the horses are like falling over dead, and which results in some people having to walk on foot. And Danny just gets some of her blood riders and just says to them that I want you to be scouts, just ride in all different directions and see what's out there, see how far this wasteland goes. And they have found all these, they found this like abandoned town or city, which is a ruin, which they are staying at as a base, even though even though they are really scared about the ghosts and spirits there. Danny has actually named her 3 dragons, and even though they're babies, it's interesting to read about them, and it's even interesting to know that a dragon won't eat raw meat; it has to be cooked. So, because she was trying to give them raw horse meat, and they wouldn't eat it, and when she cooked it, they actually did eat it. And there's been all these people that one of the scouts has brought back 3 people, I believe, and they want to like see the dragons and join Danny. Danny's also always thinking about Drogo in dreams, and I think she like misses him. And it doesn't help the fact that the knight, whose name escapes me, um, the one that's with Danny, has a kind of a crush on her because um, she reminds him of a previous love interest that he had. So I don't know whether that's going to be explored or whether it's just going to be, yeah, just briefly mentioned and never brought up again. And I'm also reading about John, who I'm pretty sure is beyond the wall with the members of the Night's Watch, and they've come across a kind of another ruined village with dead people and ashes, and there's been this massive, scary werewolf tree that's got a face carved into it, which probably was done by the children of the forest long, long, long ago. And yeah, they're just trying to find their way around and get their bearings and find out where to go next. So I'm really enjoying Danny and John's sections. They are both um my they are both really good characters for me, and yeah, and they're really interesting to read, and I really like reading their sections. So I'll be interested to see their journeys unfolding and going forward. So I wasn't going to record this section, but I thought I wanted to anyway. So I finished up John's section, which was incredibly short, and he's trying to find out about what's happened to his uncle and members of the Night's Watch are with him. And Sam has really come into his own, even though he's yeah, too clumsy for being a ranger and fighting, and also that's not in his nature. I mean, he can defend himself, but that's. I mean, he's never going to be like a massive warrior. He's more of a intellectual than. I mean, he's better suited in other areas, and yeah, there's a really good scene where he's with all these crows and they're in these massive cages that have been drawn by these horses in these wagons, and these crows are there. It seems mostly to bring back messages to members of the Night's Watch that are still at the wall in Castle Black to tell them what's going on. And he's been teaching them how to talk, and they picked up a few words, and yeah, he just seems to be really nice when he's like interacting with the birds, and yeah, he seems to like question everything as well, and yeah, he just seems to be more gentler character in this dark, cruel world north of the wall, which isn't really mapped out in the map in the actual book. Um, Mostly because no one's even ventured beyond the wall, so it hasn't been mapped out properly. So there was a village or a town or whatever that they were in, and I couldn't find exactly where it was on the map because it hasn't been mapped out properly. And that isn't George's problem or fault, rather. It's because members of the actual, I mean, people in Westeros haven't actually physically drawn out the map for what's beyond north of the wall. So I just wanted to say about where I am with the book right now. I'm at 207, page 207, and I've been reading about Arya's chapter. She's been with this band of. I don't really want to say bad people because they're not bad people. They're just misfits, misunderstood people, both men and boys. And I think that she's learned to become one of them. And even though she's not ready to fully disclose who she is and what's happened to her, basically the truth of what's happened, I think she's on the verge of. I think that's what she should do, but with caution. Anyway, they've been attacked in this abandoned village or whatever, and I mean from the um, King's Guard or someone from King's Landing, and they have been attacked, and Arya has been like, well, not leading, but she's been fighting and like standing with these people and fighting for them and with them, and it's been really good. She's become like a real leader, and yeah, it's I mean it's really hard to describe. It really is. She's a lot tougher than Sansa, and yeah, she's becoming more and more like a warrior. And at the end, the man or guy that took her from King's Landing and on this journey has basically said, "Look, run, take the other uh, people and just run and just go." And he's just trying to hold them off and so they can get away. Whether he's gonna die is completely up in the air, right now. And yeah, that's where it leaves off. It's really good, and I'm really enjoying this book so far. It's really good. It's thrown a couple of new characters into the mix, which I'm starting to get used to, or I need to get used to rather. And yeah, just it's a lot different because there are some characters which I feel that okay, I want to read about these characters, but I've got to wait because I've got to read about other ones. So yeah, this is my last part of this vlog. The next time that you see me, I will be at the 300 page mark. So yeah, let me know down below what you thought about this vlog as always, and yeah, let's just have a chat about A Clash of Kings and George R. R. Martin and Song of Ice and Fire and whatever you want really. But thank you for watching. It means the world to me, and yeah, just hopefully you will be staying on this journey with me as I go through these books.